In this video, I'm going to teach you how to overcome the I don't have money objection. For anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Chris Berry. I ran the operations for a coaching business that went from zero to over $10 million collected in less than 2 years. I now work with coaches to help them grow their coaching business. So diving straight into it. Assuming, I'm going to make a couple of assumptions before we actually get into how to handle the objection. And the first assumption is going to be that your marketing and targeting is sorted. Now, what do I mean by that? Marketing being, okay, who are you attracting into your funnel? Who are you generating in regards to leads? And then targeting is that you actually understand who your ideal client is. You understand their pain points. You understand, make sure they're financially qualified, right? And to dive even deeper, I should say dive deeper, yet in the same sense, kind of taking a zoom out. The biggest thing that you need to make sure you understand about your ideal client is, number one, do they want what you are selling? And number two, are they able to purchase that which you are selling? And the way that you're going to be doing this is through pre-qualification. So before the call, you're going to have some sort of fact finding, or if you're doing some sort of auto booking, you need to have something in place, whether it be a form, whether it be an assignment, whatever it is. You need to make sure that this person is both wants what you're selling and is able to afford that which you are selling. Now, if you're not familiar with how to go ahead and do this and the steps you need to take, I'll go ahead and I'll link another video that I made previously down in the description so you can go ahead and take a look and get that understanding. So now that we have got those assumptions out of the way, let's transition into the meat and potatoes of this video. How do I overcome this objection to actually get this person to close? Because you have to understand, when somebody says they don't have the money, but you know you've pre-qualified them, you know they match on all these different pieces and criteria, it is simply a smokescreen objection. We all might call it just simply, it's BS, right? Because we know that they have the funds and they're using this as an excuse to go ahead and not work with you, for a couple of different reasons that we're going to go ahead and cover here in a second. The biggest thing that you need to understand, though, is that you need to find what is the real objection. What is the real reason why this person doesn't want to move forward with you, doesn't want to give you their money and start going in your program? And there are three main reasons why a person would give you a smokescreen objection like this. Number one, they don't trust you. There is a complete lack of trust, and they don't feel that they can actually get it to where the words that you're telling them will actually become a reality. So that's the first thing that we're going to have to chat about. Okay, second thing is they don't believe it will work. Okay, you told them that you can help them lose 50 pounds, that you can help them in this relationship, whatever it is. That's another reason why they will not work with you and why they're giving you the smokescreen objection. And then the last one is simply a limiting belief. This is something that a person has in their mind based on previous experience, whatever it is, of, oh, this is a lot of money. I've never spent this much amount of money before. Oh yeah, no, I just much rather figure out myself. They're not into investing into themselves. Okay, it could be, oh, I don't pay all the money up front, or hey, I don't make rash decisions, or hey, other reasons of just self-sabotage. So as you're looking at this, each one of these have different handles and different things that you can do in order to overcome them. So when it comes to a lack of trust, you have to understand that most people will not work with you if they don't trust you. If they don't trust your word, if they don't trust the actions, how in the world can they trust that you're going to be the one that takes them from where they are now to where they want to be? So that's something that's massive. Now, you might be asking yourself, okay, well, how do I build up trust? Trust can come in many different ways. It can come in the little things that you do in regards to, okay, you said that the meeting started at this time. Were you actually there on time? You inside of your marketing messages gave one thing of, oh, you're going to get this, or you're going to have that, or someone on your team said that. And you have to make sure everything is congruent, because ultimately people are going to look at the little things and they're going to go ahead and use that as indicators of, can I trust these people on a bigger level? So that's one when it comes to lack of trust. Another thing that is helpful on lack of trust and also on they don't believe it will work is using social proof and testimonies. Because if you're able to show, hey, look at all these other people that have trusted me and my company and also made it work for them, they are much more likely to believe that they can go ahead and work for them, the prospect. Now, another thing that's really important as you're going through, and two parts. Number one, collecting case studies, and number two, showing case studies. When it comes to collecting case studies, you want to get as many as possible. Now, why might you ask that? Yeah, of course, it's good just to have a lot. But second of all, the second point is showing case studies. You want to ideally show a case study that is as similar to the person on the other line. So if we're speaking to a 45-year-old woman that is looking to lose 40 pounds and lives in Southern California and has faced 1, 2, 3 problem, the closer you can get to that, the more that the prospect can envision in their mind themselves and therefore come to believe, oh wow, this person, this company, this individual and their team can help me get to where I want to be. So continue to make sure you're collecting case studies, testimonials. If you don't have those, look, that's okay. It's a stage that you're at right now. Continue as you get results for people to gather these case studies and testimonials though. And moving down to the third reason, limiting belief. There's a lot of different handles that will come based off of what the limiting belief is. In short, what you're needing to do with limiting beliefs, these are, out of all the objections, these are the ones that are the more tricky, or we'll say harder than some of these other objections, because essentially what you're doing is you're going to need to have a complete paradigm shift inside of this person's mind as to what they believe. And essentially, like anything, you need to go ahead and provide evidence and make it so clear that the other person, that this previous limiting belief that they had is no longer true. Now, this isn't a full sales specific where I'm going to go ahead and give you limiting beliefs. If you do want to get a better understanding of how to overcome certain limiting beliefs, go ahead and drop it down inside of the comments. I'm more than happy to make a video. Also, if you are liking this stuff, drop a like as well. But continuing along, these are the three things, the three reasons why people are giving you these smokescreen objections, because they don't trust you. They don't believe that it's going to work, or they have a limiting belief and they're at the point where they're not able, especially if they don't trust you, to be upfront with you. Maybe they think you're going to be too pushy. Maybe you're going to try to back them into a corner. So it's so much easier for them to say, oh, I just don't have the money now, as an excuse to get out, rather than giving you the true reason. And so as you're doing this, obviously we talked about certain ways to handle and the underlying reasons why a person would not trust you, not believe that it'll work, or just have the limiting beliefs. We touched briefly about it, but when it actually comes to handling the objections, you need to do three things. Number one, you need to isolate the objection. Okay, if the person you're speaking to them and they end up sharing, oh, hey, this is problem 1 I'm having, problem 2 I'm having, problem 3 I'm having, objections as to them not moving forward. Also, another thing too that I find is helpful, I use objections because it's the term that everyone understands. I want to share another term with you that one of my mentors, who he sold over $600 million in coaching, that he shared with me. And it's really important to change the wording that we go ahead and tell ourselves, because the words that we say program us to believe certain things. So instead of using the word objection, I want you to think about using the word resistance, because it's not only that the person's like objecting, it's the fact that there's just some sort of resistance for them getting to where they want to be. Coming back to it, handling objections / resistance. Number one, isolate, because if you try to handle every single one of them at once, it's not going to work. You need to, so if they give you 3 things, say, okay, so these are 3 things, right? Okay, awesome. So let's jump into this one first. And then you break it, okay? You start with one at a time. Then what you do is you handle it. Talk briefly about some of the handles before, social proof, breaking limiting beliefs, all of these different things. And then once you handle it, you then need to confirm, hey, so I know you were saying in making rash decisions, do you feel like after we kind of talked about it that this isn't a rash decision at all? You need to get them to say it, not just you. You need to get them to confirm, because that's how you really make sure it's solid. Then just simply move on to the next objection. That's one of the biggest things. So you have 3. You literally just say, okay, perfect. We have 3. I'm just going to take these other 2 and put them off to the side. Let's just talk about this one. You talk about it, you handle it, and then you confirm, yep, is this good? Okay, awesome. So now this is in the done pile. Now you take the other 2. Okay, perfect. I'm going to take this one. We're going to put this one on the side. Handle it, done, confirm, move on to the next. And that's one of the most important things that you need to do, because a lot of salespeople make one of 2 mistakes. Number one, they try to handle all of the objections at once, and therefore it's just kind of all over the place, and we don't ever really get true handling and true confirmation of it. So that's part 1. Part 2 is that salespeople, they have 3 objections and they just don't address all of the objections. Yeah, maybe they address 1 or 2, but that third one is going to be the thing that's going to kill the deal, right? So now that you've been able to take the objections, you've figured out what all of them are, you've been able to isolate, you handle, you confirm, you move on to the next one. You've done that. You have now sorted all of these different objections. When you do this, you are now closing them. It's as simple as that, because there are very specific reasons why a person is not moving forward. So what you need to do in order to recap, you need to understand that the smokescreen objection, you need to get to the true root cause of it, because ultimately the fact that they don't have the money is the case. So one way that you could go ahead and circumvent this to get the real objections is you got to say, okay, I understand, just to make sure we're on the same page. If all of this was here and it was completely free, would you move forward with this? Hey guys, what's going on? It's Chris. A lot of you leave comments and send DMs to me telling me that you need help. Do me a favor. I'm going to tell you the best way to get a hold of me. Shoot me a text message right now at 949-990-5808. Once again, that's 949-990-5808. 5808. I'll help you with whatever you guys need. I got your back. Let's get back to the video. If they say yes, then you know it's an actual money objection. And you also have to understand within your own mind, because you should have pre-qualified. So if that's really the case, they might be lying to you, but there also might be other things that you want to do. So maybe dive into the financial piece first. Now, if the person says, okay, if it were free, would you do it? And the person says no, then you have to go ahead and understand, why is that the case? And you continue going along from there, because there's obviously something, a true objection behind the smokescreen objection of I don't have the money. That's the reason that they're being held back from doing this. As we talk about the money problem, as I just discussed, when you're saying, hey, is it free? Would you move forward with it? And a person says yes, right? Then you just actually understand that it is truly a money problem. So then at that point, you just need to go ahead and handle. You need to figure out whether they're truly qualified, which you ideally should have done, but you just circle back into it if that's truly the case. If they don't have the money and you cannot make it work by any stretch of the imagination, and the different partnerships that I'm going to talk about here in a second, then just reroute them back into your ecosystem. Either be a low ticket sale, whether it be in a community, whether it be consuming your content. Remember, when it comes to ecosystem, the more that you have people engaged, the more you have people's attention, even though they're not buying from you monetarily right now, they're paying you with their attention, and they continue to show up, they continue to get value from you, they continue to move more and more into your ecosystem, and they will buy from you over a long enough time frame if you continue to provide value to them. So when it comes to handling the money objection, actually sorting it out, there's a couple of things that you can do. Number one is obviously you can just take down a deposit and do a payment plan. Let's say you have a 12-month program. Obviously, you want to collect as much money up front as possible for a cash flow perspective of the business. And number two, it makes people more committed. Therefore, they typically get more results. Now, ultimately, this is your call as the business owner, as the coach, understanding how much do I want to space this out for people. I could space it out where one payment today up front, and then the remaining balance is split out into 3 additional payments over the remaining next 3 months. There's a bunch of different ways that you could chop it up. That's your call. Another option you do have as well is a funding partner. And there's a lot of great funding options out there. For example, with our clients, we can go ahead and get them anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000 of 0% interest credit that they can use for 12 months. So they come in, they get the systems, they understand how it works, we implement it, they make money, and they literally got money for free. That's assuming they have good credit. You're typically needing around a 685 and above credit score in order to make that become a reality. If anybody has below a 685, there are also other lending companies out there that you can leverage and utilize. One of the ones that we also like to use allows us to space out payments over the span of 36 months. We receive 94% of the money up front. This financing company takes 6%, but we don't need to worry about the collections. And it makes it so that if they're buying a $10,000 program from us, we're talking a couple $100, $300 to $500 typically, that they're needing to pay every single month, instead of needing to pay the lump sum all in front to where they don't have any cash flow for their business. So with that said, adding these different pieces into your coaching business can dramatically increase collections, because no longer is it a money problem. When you have these different things of funding partners, of deposit and payment plans, it's truly not a money problem. Unless the person is absolutely dead broke, terrible credit, just declared bankruptcy, and they're not willing to work hard or work extra jobs in order to make $300 to $500 extra a month or whatever this amount is, then this person will have the financial ability to get into your coaching program. So that's why, as I shared before, you have to circle back. What is the true objection? Why is this person not wanting to move forward with you? So to recap everything, number one, understand that the I don't have money objection is this. That's all that it really is. It's simply BS. Because when you're able to truly showcase the value to your prospect, and also have these different options so that they can go ahead and get funding. And money is no longer an issue because they have these different programs, because you've pre-qualified, because you have done these things, the person will want to move forward. On top of it too, I want to share a story with you. This is early stages of me closing. I was closing an e-commerce coaching program that taught people how to make their own dropshipping stores. I was speaking to this person, wasn't extraordinarily financially qualified. He literally had, I think it was $500 in his bank account at the time. We went through the entire presentation, and at the end, he was like, oh my gosh, Chris, I really want to do this and everything. So we made this game plan for him to go reach out to one of his family members to go ahead and offer to give him a loan. Then after that, we went ahead and we set a time 24 hours later for us to meet to go ahead and get started with the program and everything like that. He went ahead, came back 24 hours later and said, hey, I spoke to the family member. They said that they wouldn't want to go ahead and give me the loan. So what I went ahead and did is I took my car, I went to the dealership, I sold my car, and I have the money ready so that we can go ahead and get started and we can get this going. So I share that story with you because when you truly provide the value to the other person, in their head is like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need, the person is going to go ahead and buy. If I pull up in a $500,000 Ferrari on your front doorstep, I knock on the door and say, hey, you could have the Ferrari, there's no gimmicks, I just went and got it checked out, the mechanic said everything's good, here's the Carfax, here's all of it, and all that you need to do is just give me $50,000 and I will give you this $500,000 Ferrari. Even if you did not have the $50,000, you would find a way to make it work. That is the reality that you need to get into your prospects' minds. And ultimately, you will not get into the prospects' minds unless you truly believe that what you do truly helps people. Now you can see, even as I'm sharing this with you, I get fired up. And the reason why I'm so fired up is because I know that this stuff works. And I know that if you implement this into your business, it'll dramatically help you. It's the same exact reason why when I maybe get on a call chatting with someone, or one of my team members gets onto a call speaking with a coach to understand, hey, do we want to move forward on this? I have so much conviction because I know that it works. And so I challenge you guys, as you're going through this, make sure you also have that conviction, because when you have that conviction, you are more able to transfer that value and the confidence into the prospect to say, look, I know this is going to work. And you'll get down to the person truly understanding, wow, I need to move forward with blank person and their team. And you no longer are going to be facing these I don't have money objections, because as we can see right here, it is simply BS. And you just need to understand how to create more reality of the value that you and your team can provide by them going through this program. So to wrap up on the very last things, number one, remember, we have to find what is the real objection. Is it they don't trust you, it won't work, or is there some sort of limiting belief that is holding them back? Once we have identified what these objections are, then we just need to simply handle them. And there's a 3-step process. Number one, we need to isolate, we need to handle and confirm, and then we need to move on to the next objection. Once you have done all of that and you have been able to do and handle and confirm all of the objections that the person has, that's when you close them. And remember also the money problem. If they truly don't have money, reroute them back into your ecosystem. Or this is obviously, if you're wanting to continue to do this long term, make strategic partnerships so that you have funding or you have payment plans. You have something so that money isn't even a problem for these people. Because ultimately, if you're here and you're a coach, you're doing this because you have a passion to help others, to teach somebody something, most likely that you have struggled with in the past. And you know that if you can go ahead and help guide this person from where they are now to where they want to be, using your techniques, using your program, that they will dramatically improve the quality of their life, their business, whatever it is. And so on that, do not give people an excuse to not move forward, because look, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If these people do not come to work with you, you will they most likely will not have meaningful change. They'll continue to live the mediocre life or struggle with the same problem that they have been struggling with. So you all, in the same sense, also have an obligation to help guide this person. Yes, I know that it is an exchange of money, but you know that you can go and provide so much more value to this person by having them go through your program and get this outcome. So remember, eliminate the objection, okay? Beforehand, make sure you have your marketing down, make sure you have your targeting, you understand your ideal client, and you're qualifying people. So once again, if you have not been able to dial in your marketing, identify your ideal client, and qualify these people beforehand, once again, there's a link inside of the description. I have another video. Go ahead and check that one out. If you guys did enjoy this video right here and you found it helpful, please go ahead and drop a like. Also, let me know in the comments if there's any specific part that you really liked or you wanted me to dive deeper in. Go ahead and do that. If you like this content and you want to continue to learn more valuable information that I've been able to use to help coaches sell over $10 million online, then go ahead and subscribe, and we will see you guys here on the next video. Hey guys, I wanted to tell you that you are the true coaches and the real students. You made it till the end of the video. Do me a favor, share this with a friend who wants to go to another level. Also, make sure you like the video, comment below so I know who you are, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for the channel, as we will be dropping more valuable content every single day. See you soon.